your parachute. Take your parachute.
That's a great record. That's from a band from Dublin called Something Happens. It's called Parachute. Did you ever hear that before?
Right.
Yes. People have heard that before. It was a big hit a while back at the time, about 10 years ago, when all the good music was coming out of Dublin. But now all that's stopped. The only thing that's coming out of Dublin is what used to come out of Belfast. Whinging and complaining. And now all the good music is coming out of Belfast. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it absolutely great? Good morning. Gerald Michael Anderson here on this fine Monday. The number to ring. You look particularly half dead today. Who's with you in there?
Emma.
Emma. Hello, Emma. Hello. Everybody okay? Hello.
Yes.
Emma waved at me. Yeah. It's nice, that. You okay? You look particularly sad and...
Me?
Washed out today. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well,
I'm just asking.
Suffering
Just
from
making a
cabin
comment.
fever.
I'm terribly sorry. Is it possible to weld brass, says a lady? My monkeys are in a state of disarray. A reference to the weather.
Yes.
And here's a very interesting sign. Oh, just let me introduce the programme for the benefit of the people who are listening. And many people are listening to the programme who would not normally listen to the programme, because a lot of people have taken the opportunity not to go to work today because of the inclement conditions. So there are people switching on the radio, people who would normally work in at this time, and saying, I wonder what goes on the radio at this time. We've already switched Nolan off. I wonder what happens at 10:30. They always switch him off about 9:10 when they realise the nature of the programme. People whinging and complaining about everything. But on this programme, what do they get? A sunny disposition from me. What do they get from you and the people in there? Ennui. Ennui. The number... What was that sound there? Did you make that sound?
I'm not telling you.
Who did it?
I'm not telling
Was
you.
it Emma did that?
I'm not telling you.
The number to ring if you want to contact this programme in this fine low frost.
TV was dreadful over the weekend.
Can you just wait for a minute?
No,
just wait until I introduce the programme.
I couldn't wait to see you this morning to say that. Do you know what I ended up watching yesterday?
Yes.
Well, I managed about 23 minutes of it.
Yes.
And I have to say this without swearing, honestly.
Be careful.
I know I have to, because I kept saying it yesterday to myself.
That word. What did you watch?
Quo Vadis.
Can I just tell you about Quo Vadis?
Yes,
Quo
tell
Vadis
me.
was a very important movie in my life.
Yes, 60 years ago.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, not 60 years ago.
1951.
Well, let me just tell...
It was made in 1951.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Well, actually, it had been out to 10
Quo
years by the time I saw
Vadis.
it. Quo Vadis. Do you know why it was important to me? It was a milestone in my life. Because when I was a young lad, I had never seen CinemaScope before. It was in CinemaScope.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yes. The Robe was the first.
The Robe was the first, but Quo Vadis was in CinemaScope as well. Now, I was a very studious young lad, and I was doing my 11 plus.
I tried to watch a cowboy film. That's how bad it was.
Can't you hear me telling a story?
No,
here?
but I know.
Can't you hear me telling a story?
Go on.
Now, let me just tell you what this story, because this is very important, and you brought this up.
No, I'm so angry at the TV.
I know you are. Why don't you just put your foot through it?
I wanted to.
Why don't you? Go on, the plasma screens are easy to get your boot through. Now, the big ones are hard. No one's like glass in front
What
of them.
are they thinking about putting on?
It's just because you're getting older.
It's not.
It is.
I tried to watch a film with
Bah humbug.
a cowboy and his sister, I think it may have been his sister, turned out to be an Indian, and they didn't like that. I got the end of it, but the last 20 minutes or so, there was a hanging in it. A preacher sort of man was hung in it.
Preacher man was hung. What was the name of the movie? This might help.
This I don't know, but the boy with the dimple was in it. Not the boy with the dimple, the boy with the teeth.
Well, the boy with the dimple is Kirk Douglas. The boy with the teeth could be any number of
No,
people.
the boy with the teeth is the boy. You know that boy?
Burt Lancaster.
Burt Lancaster.
Yes.
He was in it.
Yes.
He was in it.
Apache?
No, his sister was.
His sister was an Apache?
She was.
Was the movie called Apache?
Was the movie called Apache?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't called that.
Well, what was it called?
I don't know. I remember looking at it at the time and saying, I'll watch that.
But what was it called when you looked at it?
I can't remember.
You can't remember.
No.
Well, please do not start to talk about things that you can't
Burt
remember.
Lancaster was in it.
Okay.
His sister turns out to be an Indian.
His sister, what's her name? Neve Lancaster? What was her name? Siobhan Lancaster? What was her name?
I don't know.
Assumpta Lancaster?
It was dreadful, so it was.
Well, that's good. But I want to tell you about Quo Vadis, how important it was to me. When I was a young child, I was ill. Do you know we didn't have enough to eat? And I remember collapsing. This is a true story. I collapsed in school one time during religious knowledge.
Right.
There was a sky pilot there. We used to call them priests. There was a sky pilot there telling us all about, you'll be lost in everlasting damnation. You'll be cast into hell. And you know what hell is? Hell, can you imagine the heat from 1,000 burning Christmas trees, and you're plunged into that, and you'll never, ever, ever get out because your sins will be washed and burnt away.
You will never get out because your sins will be washed and burnt away. Doesn't make sense.
You will never get out. Your sins will never be washed and burnt away. Don't default my script, please. Anyway, they're giving this usual cheerful message at Christmas. You'll all die in everlasting flames. So I'm sitting there and I felt dizzy and I collapsed. And the priest took me into his car.
It was very Larry Grayson.
Look at the book in here. Shut that door. Look at the book. Look at the book in here. There was enough said at our Edie's wedding. Anyway, I collapsed and he put me in the back of his car. And, if I knew what I knew now, I'd be a little worried, wouldn't I? But it was all right. He gave me an orange when I came round and he brought me down to my home. And he said, Mrs. Alderson, your child has collapsed in school. And my mother said, put him back to work. No, she brought me upstairs and the doctor was called and it was decided that I was ill. And I was in bed for 6 months. Did I ever tell you about this before?
Yes.
Don't ruin it. I thought I didn't tell you. Anyway, a teacher came down and taught me and I was doing my 11 plus. And the doctor said to me, my mother brought me
Huey
to the doctor.
Kelly.
That was the name of the teacher.
Yes, you left that out.
The doctor came down to me and my mother said to the doctor, he's doing his 11 plus, this young child. She couldn't remember my name. He's doing the 11 plus, this young child. What do you think he should do? And you know what the doctor said? He said, there's no point in flogging a dead ass. And my mother got annoyed. She said, did you hear what he said?
So.
And she said, well, you're doing that exam. It's the last thing I do. So eventually I got up and she said, I'll give you a special treat if you go up and do that exam. And I did the exam and passed it and didn't go to the college because of another reason. And my special treat, as soon as I was well enough, my sister brought me to see Quo Vadis.
They didn't think very much of you?
No, they wanted me to go back to work. They used to say, Jim, are you all right, Jim? And I said, my name's Gerry.
Quo Vadis. See, it was all right then when you were a wee boy.
I know, but see, this is
not
what's
the
wrong.
Sunday afternoon you're sitting in the house looking for
But can you
something
not
to
look
see.
at it with young eyes?
No, I
know
can't.
You don't have young eyes. Here, listen, the Ballymena County Council have a sign up.
Can I ask you something now?
Can you hear him tell you something?
Before we move on,
What?
just about Quo Vadis, the man that was in it, the man
Robert Taylor.
No, there was another man
Victor
in there.
Minure.
The man with curly hair.
Victor Minure.
Right.
Yes.
Was he small?
No. Tall. Italian-American.
Tall.
Bodybuilder.
Are you sure? I think he may have been broad. I don't think he'd been very tall.
He was tall.
Are you sure?
Tall. He was tall.
He was tall for you because you were only 11.
Victor Minure was tall. Very tall. Robert Taylor was not too, but you don't know.
There was a scene where he was putting on his armour.
Yes. Can we move away from this?
The armour was leather.
Yeah, leather armour. So the Romans used leather
I
armour.
know, but it was because he was embracing some girl.
His armour got in the way.
Aye. And it looked awful.
Did it?
And
see, do you know, I always do. See, if I'm embracing a girl, I always take my armour off.
And here's another thing that I had to watch,
Yes.
almost. I watched about 11 minutes.
Well, here's an idea. Why don't you just not watch the TV? Go upstairs and read a book.
Trying so hard.
I know.
Right. Frank Sinatra.
Are you nearly finished now?
Frank Sinatra was in it.
Pride and the Passion.
Dreadful.
Of course it was dreadful. And Ava Gardner. And
No,
Cary Grant with a wig.
Ava Gardner wasn't in it.
No, it was Cary Grant.
It was Cary Grant.
Will you stop
Sophia
this?
Loren, I think.
There are people, students listening who have no
What
idea
was
what
she
you're talking
doing
about.
in it? What was
What?
she doing in the film?
Who?
The girl. Was it Sophia Loren?
Yeah.
Or was what? That's what annoyed me. I kept saying, "What is her role in this film?" She hasn't said a word yet.
Do you want me to tell you? See, this is something that's washed over
She
the top
just
of your
wore
head.
a tight Littlewoods jumper.
That's why she's there. She's there to look at her chest.
That's all it was.
Because do you remember when you went to see that movie, you didn't see people like that. There weren't people like Sophia Loren walking around Derry. There weren't. And whenever you looked up on the screen, it didn't matter if she spoke or not. You just looked at her chest.
No,
And the
it annoyed me then and it annoyed me yesterday.
You're the only man I ever knew who was annoyed because Sophia Loren was wearing clothes that were too tight.
I told you it was Barbara Stanwyck put me off cleavages for life.
And because you didn't realise she had a chest until you saw it. Anyway, will you stop this? There's a
TV
sign.
was dreadful.
There's a sign. There's a sign beside a pool in Lisburn.
Right.
And do you know what the sign says? Frozen ice.
Right.
What?
Frozen ice.
Right.
Do you see nothing wrong with that?
Frozen.
What other
and
kind
ice.
of ice is
Yes,
there?
yes. Frozen.
Frozen ice.
Yeah.
Ballymena County Council. Frozen ice. You see, you don't.
I just would pass that by.
I know. Not sure if you can help or not, but I would appreciate it for you to make an announcement. The grammar is not great, but you understand. Make an announcement about a fawn-coloured greyhound that went missing in the Pond Park area of Lisburn on Friday night. Answers to the name of Missy, M-A-S-S-E-Y. Do you know what that means? Missy is missing.
That's another thing I watched too on Saturday night.
Stop.
I watched the greyhound racing
Stop this.
from Limerick.
What about A.P. McCoy? What's his name? A.P. McCoy?
AP.
Congratulations to him. Isn't that a wonderful thing? BBC Sportsman of the Year last night.
I'm delighted for him. Really delighted for him. It was a dreadful programme.
Dreadful programme? Well, I don't know. I never watched it.
No,
did you watch it as well?
No.
Well, how do you know it's dreadful?
Because
if you
you've
didn't watch
watched it in the past and you know it's not. worth
judging programmes from what they used to be like.
You don't watch
Congratulations to A.P. McCoy from Tunbridge, and he's the first jockey ever to win British Sportsman of the Year. Congratulations to him and his family.
But he should have won it 5 years ago.
Exactly. The point is, he's the first jockey. They were always reluctant to give it to a jockey because they don't regard a jockey as being a real sportsman. They don't. They regard a real sportsman like somebody who plays football, which is a joke, isn't it? And rugby and golf. What about G-Mac? He's probably very disappointed. He's probably sitting at home wondering why he didn't get it.
No, he won the RTE one on Wednesday night.
You win the RTE one, but it's not the same as the British one because after all, it's the British one that's important. The RTE one is only a crowd of, Anyway, listen.
There's a call on there.
I'm not taking any calls.
Why not?
Because I'm going to play this record first and have to run upstairs and get a piece of it. I'm going to play this record. It'll be 2 seconds long.
But when you talk to Pat?
No, I can't talk to Pat now. I have to run upstairs and get something. And I have to play
What
this
if you
record.
get upstairs?
Never you mind.
We'll get it.
No, you never get it. I know where it is.
But what about Pat?
Pat will have to wait.
But when you talk to Pat?
Hello, Pat.
Hello, Gerry.
I'm sorry for all this.
I really appreciate you talking to me now. Thank you.
Not at all. Christmas cards are flowing in here. I'd just like to acknowledge, thank you very much, all the people who sent me a card. I appreciate it greatly. Anyway, go ahead, Pat. I noticed you haven't sent one yet, but that's all right.
It's in the post, Gerry.
All right,
then. One of the 3 things you don't want to believe until it lands in your hand.
There's no answer to that. Right, go ahead.
No, you were on about the 11 Plus there earlier.
Yes.
And when you were telling that story, it did sound to me very much like, sort of the dog ate my homework thing as an excuse as to why you didn't, pass the 11 Plus.
Well, I did pass the 11 Plus.
Well, sort of that's what I am ringing to ask you about, because you said you passed it, and then for some reason you didn't go to the school.
I didn't go to grammar school, no.
Why?
Because my 2 brothers, I have 2 brothers who are older than me, and the 2 of them went to grammar school. And St. Colum's College, and both of them had to leave during their first year because both of them were involved in accidents. My first brother, he lost his eye, actually, in an accident that was nothing to do with the school, but during his first year, and he had to leave. And my second brother, he had a skull injury, and he had to leave after the first year. So I associated St. Colum's College with physical pain and death, so I refused to go. That's the truth. And that's why I didn't go to grammar school. I was afraid to be killed.
That's the best. That's one of the best, sort of 11 Plus excuse stories that I've ever heard. And it's what I believe you, Gerry.
Okay, that's absolutely true.
But there's an awful lot of, as you probably know, there's an awful lot of people going around with, sort of bearing the scars of the 11 Plus experience and passing it or not passing it.
Anyone I know who ever went to St. Colum's College in Derry, there's a book out there recently about all their tales about 50 years ago, and I keep saying to, what was that? And I keep saying to them, get over it. 50 years later, can't you forget it? Anyway, Pat, I must go. Go away.
Very quickly before I go, Gerry, you wouldn't play a request. I'm after getting a great card here this morning, and a man, he's been off the road there. He's the man that, runs Anafore Harvey, the donkey.
Yes.
And he's been off the road, and he's now on the road again. You wouldn't play a request for...
That's Johnny Fee.
What?
Johnny Fee.
Aye.
That's him. And
right.
he's just sent me a card.
Oh.
And he said, this is to wish you and your staff all the best for Christmas and the New Year. As you can see from the front of the card, I'm well on my way to getting back on the road again after a wee bit of an upset and the Ballinasloe horse fair. I see this. Look at this.
That's the small word for it, Gerry, from what I hear.
All right then, Pat. Thank you very much.
If you have a copy of Shoe the Donkey, would you play it for the 2 of them?
No.
Go on.
Go away.
Cheerio.
Go away.
Hello.
Yes?
There's a call there.
I can't take this call. Can't you see I'm behind schedule here?
Well, you arranged it. It's nothing to do with us. We're just following your instructions.
Who is it?
Nuala McKeever.
Oh, that's... Hello, Nuala. How are you?
Hello, better late than never, Gerry.
Do you know what I was going to do there?
Am I now talking to a man with a full bladder?
No, you're not.
That's
no,
less
no.
comfortable
Do you know,
than I am.
Do you know what I was going to do? I knew I was going to talk to you today, so I forgot your phone number, and I was going to run up and get it.
Well, I have to go out and battle through the snow to do a bit of Christmas shopping. Can we talk now?
And yes, go ahead. Let's talk now.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? You're the one who rang me.
Okay.
You want to talk about Christmas Eve, whatever the thing is called.
That's a very nice way to build it up there for the listeners. I'm in a play called Christmas Eve Can Kill You out at the theatre at the Mill at Newton Abbey, in which you were meant to take part, but I think the weather intervened, did it?
Yes, it did, yes.
Yes, it's intervening in a lot of stuff, but we're still on. I just want to let everybody know the tickets are going very well, but there's still some for the week after Christmas. It's a Mary Jones play. It's been a sellout everywhere. Every time it's played. So myself, Ivan Little, and a cast of millions, well, 5 of us actually, are doing all the parts. It's a very funny seasonal show about Mackers, the taxi driver, on Christmas Eve. But if you don't catch it before Christmas, you can catch it right up until New Year's Eve. And we're on at the theatre at the Mill, and if you want, I can give you a box office number.
Go ahead.
Because there's lots of people out there who are going, right, I'm sick of the family, I want to go out and do something that's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Let's go to this and see how other families are getting on even worse than yours.
What's the number?
Right, 90-02890.
Yeah?
340202.
0202.
And if you fancy it a night out, it's good crack.
I was supposed to go last Thursday to make a guest appearance.
Yes.
But I'd love to have been there, but I couldn't make it for obvious reasons.
Well, you would have been a horse's head, and I
Well-
will not say any more about that. Like,
There's something else you can say about that.
well,
Oh, listen,
maybe
by the way,
next year she'll write one, and there'll be part for a horse's ass.
So it's called Christmas Eve Can
Christmas
Kill You.
Eve can kill you. I
Yes.
think the build up to Christmas Eve is killing a lot of us here, but it's take your mind off the weather and all the shenanigans going on outside. Just come and have a bit of crack.
Okay, I have a little message for you here. It says, who does Nuala McKeever think she is? And it's signed, Young Fishmonger.
Have you seen? I wrote that in the paper for today. I was looking at the TV listings the other day. Seriously, there is a programme called Young Fishmonger of the Year.
I think it's a very good programme. I'm looking forward to see it. I've marked it on my Sky Plus.
I bet you have. Flippin' heck. I seriously, I think Alan Partridge. Do you remember the Alan Partridge
Monkey
thing where
tennis?
he's trying to pitch ideas and he's going, monkey tennis? Well, I think monkey tennis must be round the corner for us all.
Young Fishmonger of the Year. How dare you? How dare you?
You could go in for slightly older DJ of the year.
Go away.
All right. Well,
Thank
have
you.
a nice whatever it is you were going upstairs to do.
Happy
You were going to get my
Christmas.
number. You don't need to do that. Okay, Theatre at the Mill, Christmas Eve Can Kill You. Come and see it. Good crack.
All right, Nuala.
Have a nice Christmas, Jay.
Thank you. Happy New Year
All
to you
right.
as well.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See that?
Is that what you were going upstairs for?
Yeah, for her number, because I knew I was going to talk to her today. I said I'd ring her at 11:15, and I forgot her number. And then she realised that I'm stupid, so she rang here instead. Do you ever wonder what Derry people would speak like if Derry had been in the Caribbean? Did you?
No.
Here it is.
The sky is so dangerous.
No, it's not. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. See, actually, Emma's laughing
Yeah.
because everything goes wrong for me.
Jordy was right, by the way,
What did he say?
about the weather.
He was absolutely 100% right.
Get off the boy camp, like a few calls to my friends. See what they're doing and I arrange to meet them. Off the cancel, it's no party. Sometimes too many be correct and sing. Do the New York Knicks tops fresh and clean. The hot day matches from TK Maxx. Can I crash in my combats, but I like that. Yeah.
Isn't that great?
On the daytime, on the daytime, I do me thing hard on the daytime, on the daytime, on the daytime, I do me thing hard on the daytime, on the daytime, on the daytime, I do me thing hard on the daytime, on the daytime, on the daytime, I do me thing hard. Writing tunes all day the past 3 days. Had a 8 o'clock brunch and a 1 o'clock rave. Don't need a rocket, they rock a party. Smooth like a criminal, rough but hearty. Free time looking like a birthday. Don't make up rules if you don't have to. Checks looking better than the time they start with. It really don't matter if it's Monday or Friday. Daytime on the daytime, I do me thing hard on the daytime, on the daytime, on the daytime, I do me thing hard on the daytime, on the daytime, on the daytime, I do me thing hard on the daytime, on the daytime, on the daytime, I do me thing hard. She's a tan dress she beckon. Head turned tall every 5 or 6 seconds. Checks be cool when we make a move. What's up with pretending they disapprove? Shh, go on like a thief in the night. Oh, it's unforgettable what it might be like. I knew a boy once and he loved to fight. Every time I see him now, he be flying a kite. Daytime on a daytime. I do me thing hard on a daytime. On a daytime, on a daytime. I do me thing hard on a daytime. On a daytime, on a daytime. On a do me thing hard on a daytime. On a daytime, on a daytime. I do me thing hard on a daytime. Daytime. Good night time, kid. A daytime. No booze, no taxis. Daytime. Memories. A daytime. When my load gives me a week. A daytime. All you need is a pouch of wacky. A daytime. No drugs, no fry. A daytime. Daytime. On a daytime, on a daytime. I do me thing hard on a daytime. On a daytime, on a daytime. I do me thing hard on a daytime. On a daytime, on a daytime. I do me thing hard on a daytime. On a daytime, on a daytime. I do me thing hard on a daytime. Okay.
Isn't that great?
Can I have your number?
That's brilliant. That's a song called On the Daytime. That's a man who describes himself, his name is Wild Man. I'm partial to a few fingers of brandy, says Adam Breen, but I want you to launch a petition which prevents barmen and barwomen serving me brandy in brandy glasses. You see, said glasses have that small conical opening at the top, which by my estimates has a diameter of a 10-pence piece. Have you seen those glasses? You can hardly get your nose into them at all. You see, the problem is, being a true Hallion, I like to get my nose right into a glass and use minimal wrist movement to assist the drinking process. Easy enough with a flagon of Heineken, but not so with the footery little brandy glasses. Why? Well, proboscically speaking, that's nosefully speaking, my nose is not huge, but due to many altercations with kebab shop owners, taxi drivers, mad dogs, baton-wielding PSNI, it does deviate, and I have got what I suppose could be described as a Roman nose. It's Roman all over my face. Subsequently, I feel disadvantaged at being forced to use this receptacle and feel that at the start of the night the barman should get a big yellow bucket, found in all farmyards, pour in 4 pints of Guinness, half a bottle of brandy, 500 milligrams minimum of tomazepam, chips, peas and gravy, and maybe perhaps a kebab, and allow me to slurp away, safe in the knowledge that they're helping me have a good night and also saving fairy liquid. What do you like? What do you think of Wild Man? Do you like him, the rapper?
It's very good.
He's very good, isn't he?
Yes.
I think there's a future for Derry Caribbean rappers because the accent lends itself. I think it's really, really good. Try not to be too enthusiastic there. Because you don't want to encourage these people because they might send in another one. And here's a gentleman who says, my wife and I are a well-to-do couple in our late 20s. We were sitting in our comfortable central heated home after a good lunch when there was a knock on my door. It was Mrs. Doherty, our 94-year-old neighbour, who lives 4 miles away. After she got her breath back, she said, I was sitting in my little cold hovel when I thought to myself, I must go and see if the two of you need anything in this cold weather. My wife and I looked at each other in surprise. Then we put up our feet as Mrs. Doherty hoovered, dusted, cleaned the toilet, shampooed the dog. On her way out, 3 hours later, she wheeled her bin out for me. That's why I love this country. The people are so nice. Isn't that really considerate? But people don't think of that kind of thing. There are young people sitting around who don't know how to do things. They don't know how to cook or anything. Old people should knock on their door, especially in this cold snap, and ask them if they're okay and if there's anything they can do for them, because they were spoiled by their parents, who are the old people called round to see if they're okay. We'll be back after the news.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
And at the BBC News Desk at 11 o'clock, this is Keith Burnside. The severe weather is again making travelling difficult. Temperatures fell to a record low overnight of minus 18 Celsius in Castlederg. Almost 500 schools are closed. Police say they've arrested 12 men in an attempt to foil a terrorist plot to blow up targets in the UK. The men, 5 from Cardiff, 4 from Stoke-on-Trent and 3 from London, were detained on suspicion of the commission, preparation and instigation of an act of terrorism. The suspects are aged between 17 and 28. The Secretary of State has confirmed the appointment of a new Parades Commission, which will begin work in the new year. Among the new commissioners are a former senior Orangeman who became a major critic of the Grand Lodge and a former spokesman for a nationalist residents group in Londonderry. Here's our political correspondent, Gareth Gordon.
The commission will be chaired by Peter Osborne, a former Alliance councillor who sat on the Parades Commission in the past. But it's the identity of some of the 6 commission members which will cause most comment. They include the Reverend Brian Kennaway, a former member of the Grand Lodge who's been at odds with the leadership for many years, and Robin Percival, a former spokesperson for the Bogside Residents Group. The other commissioners are Douglas Bain, former Chief Electoral Officer, Delia Close, a retired teacher, Dr. Katrina King, an academic with a background in medicine, and Francis Nolan, a retired police officer. A spokesman for the Orange Order said, "We do not engage with the Parades Commission, so it is irrelevant who is on it."
Now to a weather update, and here's Angie Phillips.
Staying very icy after what was the coldest night on record, as the temperature at Castlederg plummeted to minus 18 Celsius. Even though overnight snow across the north and east has eased off, further snow showers are possible at times across East Down, and conditions will stay treacherous and slippery in most areas due to frozen and compacted snow. A few patches of freezing fog could linger too, but where they do clear there should be some wintry sunshine, although remaining bitterly cold with sub-zero temperatures inland. Clear skies tonight will allow temperatures to tumble away below minus 10 Celsius inland and probably below minus 15 in West Tyrone again. A severe frost will develop and roads and footpaths will remain icy and very slippery. Some freezing fog patches will reform again too.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
All main roads across Northern Ireland are passable with care, but driving conditions are still treacherous in many places. Fog is also causing major problems, particularly on the M1 west of Blacks Road, the A1 and around Craigavon, particularly the Armagh Road, so please take care. Traffic is slow on the A8M towards Sandyknows roundabout, which is causing delays on the Mollusk Road back through the roundabout. Elsewhere, the broken down car on the A2 Bangor to Belfast Road has been cleared, as has the broken down lorry on the A7 Belfast Road in Saintfield, and the Ballygolly to Oher Road has been reopened and is passable with care. Onto the airports, and the City of Derry Airport has been reopened. However, this morning's flight from Dublin has been cancelled, and there are delays to the arrivals from Stansted and Glasgow Prestwick. At the George Best Belfast City Airport, there are delays to flights from Manchester, Birmingham and Gatwick, and this afternoon's Paris Exeter flight has been cancelled. And at Belfast International Airport, this morning's flight from Gatwick is expected at 1:45, and the 5 to 11 Heathrow flight has been cancelled. If you're due to fly anywhere today, you should contact your airline before travelling to the airport. Finally, public transport and all local bus services have been suspended in Antrim, Ballymena, Bangor, Coleraine, Cookstown, Donaghadee, Downpatrick, Enniskillen and Newtownards, and other Ulster bus and metro services are operating on the main roads only. Trains on the Larne and Coleraine Portrush lines are subject to delays and cancellations, and you can keep up to date with translink.co.uk or contact Translink on 90666630. Aileen Moyna reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, it should have been the biggest shopping weekend, but did we stay at home? And if so, were we sleighing and making snowmen? The winners and losers of this snow, tell me which you are. Do we need an interdepartmental task force to deal with it? One MLA at least thinks so. Or perhaps you're managing by working at home. Let me know. Then there's the new Parades Commission. We'll talk about that on Talkback. AP McCoy's mum tells us how proud she is of her boy, the Sports Personality of the Year. And on the plus side, has the snow brought some exotic arrivals to your garden? That's all in Talkback at 12. Join in the debate. 12 o'clock. Talkback with me, Wendy Austin.
Thank you, Wendy. I have never been as cold. Castlederg, minus 18 degrees. That's only a few miles from here. For God's sake, how are we going to cope? I'll have to go on holidays in January. I can't handle it anymore. And you can't go on holidays until next August. What are you going to do?
All art is quite useless according to Oscar Wilde. Turner, 1775 to 1851. Toulouse-Lautrec, 1864 to 1901. Andy Warhol, 1928 to 1987, R.I.P. Ernest Hemingway, 1899 to 1961. George Orwell, Jimi Hendrix, William Butler Yeats, Jack B. Yeats, Richard Redgrave, 1804 to 1888. Henry Moore, 1896 to 1986. Henry Miller, Sid Vicious, only 21. Brian Jones, Otis Redding, 1941 to 1967, R.I.P. All dead, yet still alive. In endless time, endless art. Masters of their art. Claude Monet, 1840 to 1926. Beethoven, Bach, Brahms, Elvis Presley, 1935 to 77. Man Ray, Johnny Ray, John Donne, 1573 to 1631. Alfred Lord Tennyson, 1809 to 92. The Generation Art, Joan Miro, R.I.P. Jackson Pollock, 1912 to 1956. John Lennon, 40 to 80. Henry Lamb, Cézanne, Paul Gauguin, William Shakespeare, Brendan Behan, 1923 to 1964. Tennessee Williams, 1912 to 1983. Gerard Manley Hopkins, 1844 to 1889. Pissarro, Picasso, Degas, R.I.P. All dead, yet still alive. In endless time, endless art. Joseph Conrad, 1857 to 1924. Jack Kerouac, 1922 to 1969. Keith Moon, 1946 to 1978. D.H. Lawrence, James Joyce, Mozart, Van Gogh, 1853 to 1890. Ian Curtis, Salvador Dali, Johann Strauss, Richard Strauss, Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse, R.I.P. All dead, yet still alive. In endless time, endless art.
Plenty Christmassy stuff on today.
Beyond the suns that guard this roost, beyond your flowers of flaming truth, beyond your latest ad campaigns, an old man sits collecting stamps in a room all filled with Chinese lamps. He saves what others throw away. He says that he'll be rich someday. We know of an ancient radiation that haunts dismembered constellations, a faintly glimmering radiation. ancient radiation that haunts dismembered constellations, a faintly glimmering radio station. While Frank Sinatra sings stormy weather, the flies and spiders get along together. Cobwebs fall on an old skipping record.
Nothing like a good Christmas record. That's a song called Frank Sinatra by a band called Cake, and that's from an album called Fashion Nugget. And before that was a band called A House, and the track was called Endless Art. Don't forget the number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. Email address Gerry. I must turn on the machine. I haven't turned it on yet. Gerry.Anderson@bbc.co.uk, and text messaging service is 81771. Some messages here from the people outside.
People want you to play Christmas music, especially
tell them to catch
play
themselves
song for wee Laura from her daddy Mark.
My 4-year-old daughter insists Charlie Lansborough is the real Santa. Well, he's not. In actual fact, he's the Shroud of Turin. Can you please enlighten her? You don't laugh at anything anymore. You don't laugh at anything, and you're afraid to laugh at things. Just got this. Can you send any light on this? I heard you talking about this morning to some people upstairs who shall be nameless. Police will be stopping people from tomorrow who are driving with snow on the roof of their car and will issue fixed penalty of £60 plus 3 points due to the hazard it can cause. It's in the Highway Code. Was also on BBC Radio 3 last night. Anybody know anything about this?
Not for 1 second do I believe that.
Neither do I.
Not for 1 second.
But that rumour is circulating.
Right. Let's just say, take it as it is, right? You're into your car to drive to work or wherever you're going.
Yes.
And you take all the snow off the roof of your car.
Yes.
Right? And it's you're complying with the law.
Yes.
Right? And you're driving along and it starts to snow. So a policeman walks out in front and says, "Hi, boy, snow on the roof of your car."
Is that the way policemen talk now?
But you know what I mean? Like, so
But it doesn't
silly.
settle on your roof if you're driving, does it?
Yes. Well, it could do.
Does it?
Could
You'd be
freeze.
driving a long time.
But
anyway, never mind that. That's an urban legend. That's not true. I don't believe it either.
Not at all.
Frozen water is ice. There's no such thing as frozen ice. That's the point we were trying to make. Gerry, I went into the Crown Bar for a quiet pint as opposed to a loud one. The barman told me that all pints were 20p, 1970 prices, as it was their anniversary. Then I noticed Pat Jennings and Jackie Fullerton sitting in the corner sipping jungle juice and talking about the golden days and the olden days and what might have been. I said to the barman, "Who are those? What are they waiting for?" He said, "They're waiting for happy hour." Incidentally, here's something I found. I'm going to play this now. I found this.
There's a man waiting for you.
I know that, but this is great. I'm going to play this. Do you remember the time we used to do impressions? Do you remember?
What? Please don't embarrass me.
No, I remember the time we used to do impressions.
No, tell me what it is, please.
It's you doing a lot of different people.
No, don't.
Remember a young man used to involve himself in this program. He used to put together compilations. Well, he put together compilations of your impressions.
No, don't do that.
It's really good.
No, it's not. Please.
No, but it shows you up because you don't do any now.
No, but Bill's there. Please. No, stop
I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really, really want.
Tell you what I want, what I really, really, really want.
Tell you what I want, what I really, really, really want. What I want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really, really want. Tell you what I want, what I really, really, really want.
I don't even know who they are.
I'll tell you what
Ivan
I
Little.
want.
That's big
what
Ivan
I
Little.
really, 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 really want.
Pat Jennings.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really, really want.
Really, really,
Gabo.
Really, really want.
Stop it.
So tell me what you want. What you really, really, really
Talk
want.
to Bill,
I wanna
please.
really zig-a-zag. Ha. This is Ivan Little for UTV Live.
What about Bell?
Remember you used to do things like that? What happened to you?
Oh, God, please talk to Bell. Please.
Can't you hear me doing something Christmassy?
Bell wants to talk about the state of the road.
Everybody's doing that.
It's a sheet of...
Come, they told me, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. A newborn king to see, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. To lay before the king, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. Ram-pam-pam-pam, ram-pam-pam-pam. And so, to honor him, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. When we come, little baby, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. I am a poor boy too, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. Oh, hi, oh, I have no gift to bring, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. That's fit to give the king, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. Ram-pam-pam-pam, ram-pam-pam-pam. Oh, la-la-la. And so, I'll play for you, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. On my drum. Hey, yeah. Mary Nolan, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. Hey, the ox and lamb kept time, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. I played my drum for him, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. I played my best for him, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam, ram-pam-pam-pam, ram-pam-pam. And then he smiled at me, pa-ram-pam-pam-pam. Me and my drum, hey, hey, me and my drum, hey, me and my drum. Maria Yusuf and Nancy, hey. Maria Yusuf and Nancy, hey. Maria Yusuf and Nancy, hey. Maria me and my drum, hey, me and my drum, hello, yeah, me and my drum.
There we go. That's what is that? That's Mr. Hold on. Mr. O'Mundy's #1 singers, Christmas songs from Nairobi. That's a song called Little Drummer Boy, Sarah Matalo, and vocal ensemble. That was issued by Concern. It's a charity record. And if you log on to Concern, their website, I'm sure you'll find all kinds of details as to how to get that if you want it. Mr. O'Mundy, Mr. as in Mr. O'Mundy, O-M-O, not Irish, O-M-O-N-D-I-S, #1 singers, Christmas songs from Nairobi. Right, some feedback about what we talked about there a moment ago. Apparently it was on the BBC a couple of weeks ago as well, says Gerry. The AA stated that it is against the law to drive with a build-up of overnight snow on the Riviera. If indeed you brake, it will slide over your windscreen and obscure your vision. If you take off too fast, it will slide over your rear screen, doing the same thing. It is against the law. I think that's just so stupid.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
By the way, Bill got fed up waiting and he went away.
Did he?
There's another man, Mr. Keenan.
Mr. Keenan?
If you would talk to Mr. Keenan, please.
Good morning, Mr. Keenan.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson, sir.
Thank you. How are you today?
I haven't been invited to that party either.
Have you? Well, why would you be invited, I wonder?
I'm better looking than you. At least I have nothing on top. I can't afford to get the stuff replanted.
See, Nolan, you must remember that the fat boy is very, very litigious and indeed very easily hurt. He feels as if he's been snubbed all the time because he's too fat. I always say he's been snubbed because people don't like him. It's nothing to do with him being fat. So he's worried. Every time anybody gets invited to a party, he's annoyed because he wasn't. Whereas I don't care. I don't want... Even I get invitations to parties, I don't go anyway. Because I hate parties because it's all full of men.
Well, even if I was invited to a party and I found somebody who comes on the air at 1:30,
yes,
I would walk out.
Indeed, I would indeed do the
There's
same thing.
There's a little man from somewhere around the west of the country. You know, it's so important. I've forgotten his name. But whenever he comes on, I turn the radio off. Now, you had that item on about the snow on the roof.
Yes.
Radio Ulster, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, they had an expert on in relation to it. There is nothing in the highway code in relation to that. It is a canard that's going round, a rumour that's going round. And
you can't use the word canard here because many people listening have no idea what it means.
Well, you do because
I'm educated.
You and I both walked up University Road.
Yes, we did indeed.
Thank you.
People don't like me talking about my university honours, but I think now's as good a time as any.
Here we go.
Anyway, thank you for that, sir.
There you are now. But Gerry, you were perfectly right. It's just an absolute rumour. But the other way I would look at snow on my roof. If I had snow on the roof, why the hell should I forgive the French? Why should I actually be Why should I be carrying a couple of stone of snow around?
Exactly. Well, you've got snow on the roof.
You're only burning diesel.
Why would you poke the fire if you've got snow on the roof?
Exactly.
All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. There are people in this programme who think a canard is a duck. Nan Reid is in Bangor.
Caroline wants to know, has the Dungiven car salesman any bargains for the new year?
There's not as bargains. Everything's all grounded. Everything's all stuck to the ice. There's nothing moving up in that direction at all. Everything's all snowed in and icebound. Icebound and prices is frozen. There's a go back after New Year and talk to you then when the wheels are turning again. Nan Reid says that I'm making a record, you know. Do you know that?
Oh.
I'm making a record and I'm recording it soon and I'm just getting the studios booked. I'm a great fan of that musical, The Music Man. The Music Man, not Trouble River City. I'm going to record that because I think there's a gap in the charts there. There's good trouble. Right here in River City, it starts P that rhymes, P that stands for pool. There's good trouble right here in Motor City. Do you think there's any chance he'd be in a hit?
I think so.
I'm going to record it now over the past few weeks and the future few weeks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it out in the new year. Because, you know, I'm taking advantage of this fame. That record, says Nan Reid, with the years and births and deaths of people, must be the worst record you've ever played. And I've listened to you over the years. There are people who are snowed in and want a bit of entertainment. And you played that awful record. I'm going to turn on the TV now. You see, people are reacting badly. But see, think of the people who are snowed in and have to listen to Hugo at 1:30. I mean, that's real torture. And, sorry, I'm just going through some emails here. People are wishing me all kinds of things, none of them particularly charitable. But I'm editing them as I speak here.
John's on too.
Is he?
Yes.
Hold on a second, let me just scroll down. I'm scrolling down now. What's wrong with this machine here? Look, I keep saying...
Well, you can talk to John.
I know, but it's not responding. Hold on a second.
When you're trying to sort it out, you can talk to John.
I'm sorting it out now. It's done. It's done. Just takes a moment. For God's sake, have you no patience?
Open the fader and talk to John.
I'm right. Hold on a second.
You could involve John. Just tell John what you're doing, so make him feel part of the programme.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't like people feeling as if they're part of the programme. It makes me nervous. And Regarding Gerry's medical complaint, which he doesn't speak of. I can't read that.
Did you see the grumpy people at Christmas?
What grumpy people said?
There was a program on about grumpy people.
I'm surprised
people
you
who
weren't on
didn't
it.
like Christmas.
Yeah, like you, yeah.
Oh, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
No,
For
neither did I.
God's sake. Look, this thing's good. Where is he? I'm going to have to talk to him. Where is
Two.
he? Hello, good morning, sir. I have to talk to him. My TV won't work here. How are you?
Hello, John. Hello, Gerry.
You see, he doesn't even know my name.
Hello, Gerry.
Anyway, okay, what can we do for you?
Gerry, another dog story with a different sort of slant on it.
That's all right.
The granddaughter's wee Jack Russell pup, about 6 months old it is. It's brown and white. It got out on Saturday at about 3 o'clock. But what it done was it followed some young ladies who were getting into Belfast city centre, and it actually boarded the bus with them. So it did.
I tried that myself one time.
Yes, the bus was Belfast city centre bound, but it was going Viva the Mona bypass. So the busman in his wisdom sat the wee pup out at the very start of the Mona Road, at the very bottom of the Mona Road.
Oh dear, yeah. Do you know who you sound like? You sound like Colin Murray. Did anybody ever tell you that? Did anybody
I
ever
don't
tell
have
you?
as much money as him.
You sound like Colin Murray. Okay then, so what happened? The wee dog, where do you think it is then?
It'll be in the Turf Lodge area, Mona Road Turf Lodge area.
Uh-huh.
It's a wee 6-month-old Jack Russell, brown and white.
Okay.
I'd really appreciate it. It's a wee family pet. It's only 6 months old.
All right then. Okay, we'll put the call out there.
Say?
And anyone who sees that wee dog, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678.
The busman
So
probably thought he was doing
it
a
hopped on a
favour.
bus to try and get away from us. That's what it was.
Well, what do you say about the busman?
I'm saying the busman probably thought he was doing the wee dog a favour because...
Yeah, because if he had brought it on in the city centre, it would have been worse,
totally
you know.
lost then. Yeah.
Okay then, all right then. All right then, okay, we'll keep an eye out for that, all right? Thank you,
very
sir.
much for your time, Gerry.
Not
Thank
at
you.
all. Bye. He really did sound like Colin Murray, didn't he?
What was the name of the wee dog?
I don't know.
You see?
It went instantly out of my head. Hi, Gerry, and interrupt us. Could you please play John McAvoy, new CD for Alfie Neal, who snowed in Downpatrick from the Secretary? There we are. Just reading these messages. Can you tell me the name of the man who sang The Homes of Donegal on your show about 3 weeks ago? Oh, that's Sean Donnelly. And here, there's some other messages here. I'm trying to get these out, you know. Greg emailing from Dundalk. You may remember, I only get to listen to your programme during the school holidays. Well, what was my joy last night when I received a text to say, school closed until after Christmas, which of course really means 2 extra days of Gerry. Keep up the great work. P.S. I do, of course, feel sorry for all the disappointed pupils. Do you know what I was supposed to do tonight?
Do you want to talk about it?
I have got 3 speeding tickets in the past 3 weeks.
How could you speed in that weather?
I tell you, it's quite easy, because they've set up a speed trap in a place where you can't help but do 30 miles an hour, because it's downhill, and after everybody, whenever I come in here in the morning, you see, there's a big traffic jam. And the traffic jam, you have to sit in traffic for half an hour until you get to the Foyle Bridge, or as we know it, John Hume's Bridge.
Right.
And whenever you get to the John Hume's Bridge, the traffic goes away. And then there's a hill down. So you've been sitting for half an hour, right, going nowhere, and then suddenly you've got a piece of road in front of you that's downhill. So you fly down it. But it's a 30 miles an hour zone.
Is it?
And you find yourself doing 35 and 40, and everybody gets a ticket. And I've got 3.
There, in that one stretch?
Yeah.
I didn't know there were cameras there.
Absolutely, yeah. It means that I have 9 points, right?
Is that fixed cameras? Or what?
I don't know. No? But all I'm telling you is that I've got 3 speeding tickets in the period of a couple of weeks, and I never got one in my life before. And they must be trying to raise money. Anyway, that's just an observation. I don't mean that.
Could be a very difficult test for you.
Anyway, so I theoretically get 9 points. I can't have 9 points.
Why not?
Because if I do it again, I have 12 and I lose my licence.
Stop it.
So what I did was I've accepted 6. So I had to go on a driver awareness course.
Is there free bargaining now?
No, what you do is you can either get a choice, you pay 60 quid and you get 3, you get 60 quid and you get 3 points, or else you pay 85 quid and agree to go to a course in Coleraine or somewhere for 3 hours. And
Would you not do 3 days in jail?
I would rather do that.
So would I.
Because you have to sit there on the bus saying, do you know that to drive your car too fast is wrong? And do you also know
that if you are behind a car and you're too close behind and you're going at excessive speed,
we're all cancelled because of the weather.
So what does that mean?
That means I'm off the hook.
No, but do they not take you another time?
They take me another time, but it means I don't have to do it today, and that's the most important thing to me.
Could you not get someone to do it for you?
Of course not. That would be against the law.
I know a man who did it.
Stop it.
No, I know a man who got his wife to said his wife say you were driving the car.
No, but you have to go up there and tell them who. Oh, you can do that, but I wouldn't do that because it's against the law, Sean.
Of course. But I know a man who did it.
A criminal who did that? A man who said he wasn't driving the car and he said his wife was driving it and got the points transferred to her. He told a lie to a person in authority.
She went and got the. She went and did the test or the exam, whatever it is. But they're now both living in Brazil. So I can't
well, that's what happens,
them.
you see. If you lie to the authorities, you end up living in Brazil. The boys of Brazil. Would you be able to say good morning? Yes, I would be able to say good morning. To John Ross of Ross Cycles. Cycles? See, there's a cross between cycles and bicycles. It's cycles. Ross Cycles in Castlewellan, who's happy to be back at the bikes today after his very enjoyable shopping day yesterday. That means he had a few drinks, I'd say. But I don't know, maybe he doesn't. A man wants to know where I can get the Derry rapper who was born in the Caribbean. That's Wild Man. I'm going to play that before the end of the programme. It's called On the Daytime. It's coming from his forthcoming debut album, which is called The Antidote, which I don't think is out yet, because if it was out, I'd be playing it. I think it's brilliant. And could you please tell your listeners that the Hollybank Primary School's carol service has been cancelled due to adverse weather conditions. The service was to be held at Abbey Presbyterian Church, Monkstown, County Antrim, this evening at 6:30 p.m. That's from Bill Fletcher, the Vice Principal. Apparently we need a password to authenticate 20 thermometer or 17 thermometer. Don't think it has been given out on air. That's right. Do you know about that?
No.
If you want to announce some kind of event or school that's been closed, you have to give a kind of a password to the news people in the BBC. You have to say 20 thermometer or whatever the date is, whatever it is. What date's today? 20? You have to give a password like 20 thermometer. You know nothing about that, do you?
Don't know what date it is.
It's the 20th.
How do you know?
Because I looked on top of my phone and it
that's
said the 20th.
the 20th.
You should do that too.
Tuesday,
what a joy it is to hear Mr. Coyle's review of Weekend TV. His masterly ability to remember names and his slow, turgid, monotone voice had me on the edge of my seat. I'm looking for a length of rope and a high rafter. That's Barry Norman, but I don't think it's really him.
Tell Barry I'll be on the rafter beside him.
Rings for the umpteenth time. Would you ever play Dick Gaughan singing Old Lang Syne? To which the answer must be no. The film Sean was talking about was called The Unforgiven, and the sister was Audrey Hepburn.
That's it.
She'd been rescued by her father many moons ago, indicating that there are Indians involved. Quo Vadis was not filmed in CinemaScope. It was made in 1951. Oh, The Robe was a CinemaScope.
I said to you The Robe was a CinemaScope.
That's right, yeah. That's okay. All right then. That's nearly.
Well,
that's all the stuff I had to read off that. It's been finished over there.
Where can you get Sean Donnelly CDs? Asked James.
On Sean Donnelly's website. Just Google him. www.seandonnelly, whatever it is. Just Google him. SeanDonnelley. I don't have one of his albums here, so I can't tell you what that is. Emma's very chirpy today. Is she? It's just my imagination, is it, or is she just chirpy?
No, she's
chirpy. I like it when they're chirpy. I'm going to play another little song now. I've been asked to play a version of Carrickfergus by Jane McNamee. And even though it's not Christmassy, it actually feels Christmassy to me.
You haven't played it. Have you? Yes, you played one, have you?
I played one so far. That's usually, I'm batting above my average, to be honest. Round about Christmas, I usually don't play anything. So what are the Christmas arrangements? Now, next Monday, I will be here, but I won't be here. Right? We're going to have a little recorded programme next Monday.
When's
right?
Christmas?
On Monday. Next Monday. This day week.
Christmas Day?
Yeah, next Monday.
It's Christmas Day?
Yeah. No, it's not Christmas Day. Saturday's Christmas Day.
Oh, right.
Saturday's Christmas Day, but on the Monday after Christmas, in lieu of a holiday, we'll be having a little recorded programme and we'll be presenting extracts from various things that we've done in this programme. A lot of musical stuff as well, which I'm looking forward to hearing.
That
and then
can't be right.
We'll be there as usual, but are you there next Friday? 24th. Will you be here next Friday morning?
Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
What?
So Tuesday's the 21st.
Tomorrow, yeah.
And Wednesday's the 22nd.
Yeah.
And Thursday's the 23rd.
23rd, yeah.
And Friday's the 24th.
That's Christmas Eve, yeah.
Saturday.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Saturday's Christmas.
Yeah. Well, let's tell the people. I think they should know. It'll help their shopping.
I didn't realise it was Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, it's Christmas.
Jeepers. Where's the time go?
Where does the time go, indeed? I don't know where it goes. I wish some of it would come back. Then I'd be younger. What can I say?
I wish I was in Carrickfergus, nowhere on earth I would rather be among the warm and kindly people of that old time down by the sea, and there upon the rock of Fergus, that mighty castle stands proud and alone from the ramparts down to the dungeon. Our history lives in every stone. Down Belfast Law, past Carrickfergus, many like me have sailed away. We traveled far in search of fortune, not knowing then the price we'd pay. Yes, there's a price for emigration, no matter where or how far we roam. Still deep within me a voice is calling. I won't find peace till I go home to walk the beach down by Scotch Quarter and bounce flat stones there upon the sea. Perhaps I'll rest a while in Dublin or cast a line from Fisherman's Quay. I'll live again my days of childhood and taste once more the salty fall. My heart still lies there in Carrickfergus, the town I'm proud to call my home. My heart still lies there in Carrickfergus, the town I'm proud
That's Jane McNamee, who was a guest in this programme a while back. She's got a new album out called Acoustically Yours, and that's on it. That's Carrickfergus, the definitive version, the one accepted by Carrickfergus town itself. St Edith's Primary School in Belfast are having their open day on Wednesday the 22nd of December. That seems to be going on as planned at 9:30am until 11 o'clock. And the principal will address parents at 9:45. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Who's this?
I'm Sally.
Hello, Sally. What can we
Hi,
do for you,
Gerry.
Sally, today?
Pardon?
What can we do for you today, Sally?
Well, I live in Bangor.
Yes.
And on Saturday night, we were going to Big Do and waiting for a taxi.
Yes.
And the snow was pelting down.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, this almighty big roll of, as I thought was an explosion, and this gigantic big flash. And I thought, oh my God, something's been blown up or whatever. We had thunder and lightning in the midst of a snowstorm.
It can't get any worse than that, can it?
I just thought, that's it. I gave up. No taxi, no nothing. Came in, waited for an hour, all this thunder and lightning going on. My phone went off. It was horrendous. And it hasn't been on the news. It hasn't been anywhere. But apparently Donaghadee, Malyle and Bangor got the thunder and lightning. I just don't understand it.
Thunder and lightning, snow, ice, freezing fog.
Yes.
Your phone broke.
Yes.
No taxis.
No taxis.
Things are going well for you.
Yeah, brilliant.
What a great Christmas
And
you're
we're all
having.
snowed in.
Excellent.
And you can't get the car out.
Great.
So it's great, isn't
Okay.
it? So can you tell me, or does anybody out there know why we had thunder and lightning? It reminded me if you're in Spain and you have that, flash lightning you get out there in the thunder.
And you sit out in your veranda and you have a drink and look at it and say, isn't that terrible?
Only
Yeah.
you couldn't sit out here because the snow was melting down. So I just thought, oh my God, I don't believe this. My sister lives in Lisburn. They didn't have it. Nobody in Belfast had it except us.
I think this is God's way of telling us that we're living in the wrong country. Thank you very much, Lou.
Right, darling. Have a nice Christmas,
Thank
Gerry.
you. Happy Christmas.
And the same to you and Sean.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Dear Gerry, if all the roads within the city boundaries of Derry-Londonderry had only 2 speed limits, 30 miles per hour for main roads and 20 miles per hour within residential areas, drivers would get used to driving at standard speeds within urban areas, and we would release all those traffic police officers to do something more useful. On the Crescent Link Road, all of it a standard dual carriageway, there are 4 different speed limits, 60, 50, 40 and 30. And it's easy to forget, unless you're a mathematician, which zone you're driving in. The traffic police seem to know about this confusion and lurk at the end of the Foyle Bridge and outside the fire station like predators on a daily basis. P.S. If you indicate on radio that you're not taking your driver education classes seriously, they can ask you to pay all the fines. I am, Sean.
100%.
You're a witness.
Yes, you are.
I'm
100%.
taking this serious.
Very serious.
You know by the expression on my face. You know,
Yes.
sometimes
And
I
you're quite
wink.
worried about it.
I'm worried about it. And I know that there are things that I can do to make me a better driver.
Yes.
And I'm prepared to be taught. And I don't care if it takes 4 hours of a man talking to me. I need to go through that so that I know it'll make me a better person. And do you know the way sometimes when I make fun of things, Sean, I'd wink at you?
Mm-hmm.
Have I winked at you today?
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
No, it's like anger management, isn't it? It's
It's
good,
exactly. It's the
a good
same
course.
thing.
It's a good
Same
course.
thing. Same thing.
Yes.
I'm proud to be selected to go on it.
Absolutely. And I
And
can't
you know,
wait
not
to
everybody's
hear.
selected. You have to be arrested first before you go on it. And it's a big thrill for me to be one of the chosen ones.
There's a call on too.
I want to go up to Lodge Hotel and go through 4 hours of intensive training.
It'll
I
make
want
you a
that.
better person.
Along with ordinary people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it makes me in contact with ordinary people. And that's a good thing, Sean.
Will you tell us about it?
I'll
Your
tell you all
experience?
about it when I come back.
Great.
If I survive. What is this?
There's a man on too.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, hello.
How are you? It's Aidan here.
Yes,
I'm making that sound as if you actually know who I am, but you probably don't. You'll know my father-in-law, but Seamus Marin.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Well, Seamus, as you know, not only did he write a poem, a tribute to yourself, he also wrote one to Anthony McCoy.
He did indeed.
And I was wondering, well, first of all, I was wondering if you would be able to play it. I don't know if you have it.
I looked for it this morning.
Well, I just sent it to you, so I have...
Excellent. Well, I'll play it as soon as I get it.
MP4 format. You see...
I can't. I don't think... Can I... Hold on. Can I play that? MP3 format? Can I play that?
The undertone will be in.
The undertone will be in.
Oh, Mickey
As far as I know, I think we'll be able to play that, Jay. He does
seems
things
to
with
do.
it.
I was going to say as well...
MP3 is fine, yeah.
Brilliant, that's great.
I'll play it as soon as I get it.
What's that, sorry?
I'll play it as soon as I get
That's
it.
brilliant. You know Seamus and his wife Patricia are Anthony's godparents.
I know that, yeah.
You know this indeed well.
Oh, I looked for it this morning, but I couldn't find it.
Right, well, you also know that Seamus is retiring.
Yes.
On Thursday, after, I'm sure it's about 140 years loyal service to the housing executive.
That's long enough for anyone.
I was thinking, if you played it, as one door closes, another one opens, you never know what record executive types are listening. Maybe you'll give them a record deal.
Absolutely, I think he's ready. Years. I'll play it. You send that to me and I'll play it.
No problem, Gerry.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Happy Christmas.
Bye, happy Christmas. Gentleman writes to me and he said, you're having your work cut out putting on great shows this week, kid. The people are in a snow, cold, winter stupor. The people are fed up to the back teeth with snow, ice, the approach of Christmas and Stephen Nolan. All the tubes who prayed and hoped for a white Christmas are huddled round the fire praying for a thaw. Walk by any hospital, all you hear is snap, crackle and pop of fractured hips being replaced. All people want to do is get Christmas over and retire to bed with a hot toddy and even a drink. Married couples who have grown frigid over the years are cuddled up in the cold marriage bed like newborn mice. And yet one man walks alone in the permafrost tundra of Derry. Yes, Sean Coyle, half man, half yeti, still walks in the icy wasteland. Tommy, my cat, leaned out of the oven to turn it up to gas mark 6 and said, gizzards will be frozen and great harm done to the downstairs plumbing before this storm is over. Only for this catheter and empty Coke bottle, I would be hunkered in the garden on a permanent basis. Tell me about it, I said. I still have a pig iron Poe stuck to my bum. That's highly dangerous, said Tommy. Should a vacuum be created in the Poe, you'd be sucked in like a pound of special mince. Yikes, I cried, as I picked up 2 chopsticks and played a paradiddle on my cast iron rear. And so it goes on. The frantic Christmas shoppers on skis, the crack of skulls against pavements, the call of Conor Murphy, do your own pads, do your own pavements. A man with a broken arm still trying frantically to reach that special toy on the top shelf. A fat woman suffering from snow blindness running amok in a china shop. The young girl in the mini dress unable to move, hardly able to get the fag to her mouth when her thong freezes hard as a board and stops all movement. The little children with their noses stuck, literally, to the toy shop window. An old codger with 2 candles hanging from his nose saying, where's the Paxo stuffing? The flustered hostess with 2 ducks stuck to her hands like boxing gloves. In the name of all that's holy, when will it end? I can't take it any more. Oh, for the sight of a pale-faced snowdrop. This too shall pass, said the man who swallowed the cricket ball.
Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old. Don't let us get stupid, alright. Just make us be brave and make us play nice. And let us be together tonight. The sky was on fire when I walked to the mill to take up the slack in the line. I thought of my friends and the troubles they've had to keep me from thinking of mine. The moon has a face and it smiles on the lake and causes the ripples in time. And I'm lucky to be here with someone I like to make it my spirit to shine. Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old. Don't let us get stupid, alright. Just make us be brave and make us play nice. And let us be together tonight. Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old. Don't let us get stupid, alright. Just make us be brave and make us play nice.
That's a nice little song which I haven't heard before. Well, I heard it before I played it. That's Jill Sobule, S-O-B-U-L-E. That's a song called Don't Let Us Get Sick. And here's a report overheard in Belfast city centre. A young mother admonishing her 2 children. Dulcie, Gabbana, stop messing about. I'm joined by Evelina O'Donnell, who's my favourite Polish person. Good morning, Evelina.
Good morning, Gerry. I love when you say that.
I think it's good because I talked to you a while ago and you told me that Christmas in Poland, I mean, a lot of Polish people living here, Christmas in Poland is very, very unlike the Christmas that we have here. I would have thought that the Christmas in Poland, they do the same things they do here, but they don't.
No, well, I'm asked if I got my turkey every year and what am I getting on Christmas Day. And I always have to say the same. First of all, I don't have any turkey. Another thing is 24th Christmas Eve is the most important day for us.
Christmas Eve is the most important.
Yes, and it's quite magical and it's kept in a really traditional way and loads of preparations. I'm preparing now for a week, but like main things that are different and I find them lovely and I'm trying to, get half of my Irish family through marriage involved. And,
yes, you're married to an Irish gentleman?
Yes, so we celebrate it both ways. On 24th we have our Christmas Eve supper and you have to have 12 dishes and every dish represents 1 month in a year.
So what kind of dishes do you have?
You have carp.
Is that January?
Well, I don't know. Carp, I would say maybe more summery month than because it's a lake fish.
Okay.
But you have you're not allowed any meat, and you have your 12 dishes. It's like borscht, beetroot soup with raviolis. It's your carp done in 3 different ways, roasted and fried and with special sauces and different salads and poppy seed cake and cheesecake and ginger cake and all of that. And
are these all small portions? I mean,
it's all displayed in the middle of the table. Then you have your hay put underneath a white tablecloth that represents the way Jesus was born. And before you even start it, you have to go outside and check if the first star is on the sky. You can't start eating before that. Then you share your holy wafer with everybody and wish Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And then you start eating and you have to have a tiny little piece of each dish because then you might end up having no luck in some part of the year.
Right.
So, but you don't have to eat so much. And then alcohol and meat is allowed after 12, after midnight mass. So in Poland, everybody goes for midnight mass. Here,
and you can't drink before that?
No, you can't. Terrible, isn't it?
That's why I've never caught on here.
And you drink hot wine with herbs and you drink your hot beer and some people drink vodkas, but, it's all at night and then you sit, until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and just chat. And the next day, everybody sleeps half a day.
Christmas Eve, you sit up to about 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yes, after the mass. And you get your presents after your meal on 24th in the evening and the presents are left underneath the Christmas tree and you unpack it all on that day.
So your Christmas is actually, basically on Christmas Eve before you go to bed?
Yes.
I didn't realise that. And does Santa come?
Santa come.
What do you call him?
Well, we call him Mikołaj or Gwiazdor. It depends. And Mikołaj comes for good people. For example, for children, we tell them that he comes down the chimney and leaves it under the Christmas tree while they are eating the supper. So you keep the door locked, And then adults, you just put your little bits and pieces under the tree. But you see, I'm hoping I'm going to get some presents, but I don't know about you, Gerry. You might get just a stick. Because, if you're cheeky or bad, you get stick. That's according to our tradition.
Well, used
so
to
I
that.
don't
No,
know.
You beat people with a stick if they're bad.
Yes, you get a stick.
Mm-hmm. I can see why that has never caught on here. So what else is different about Christmas? Do you have a long holiday at Christmas?
No, well, we have about 2 weeks holiday, and you see, on 25th you don't really do anything special. You just stay at home, sleep until 12 o'clock because you already did your mass and all the eating, and then dinner is just duck or goose.
Duck, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, but it's not so important. It's like normal Sunday dinner.
You don't sit down for a big kind of big turkey thing, no hats, no nothing like that?
No, that's all done on 24th. And then we don't really have Boxing Day, but we call it second Christmas Day. And then this day is to visit your families, and then you go to all your cousins and aunties and uncles. But also, there are many things that come from like ancient times. For example, kolędnicy. People who sing carols, they start coming to the door of every houses on the street. There is like a group of people in every town, they practice all year, and they can sing any carol under the sky you want. About 400 Polish carols they can sing, and they come to your door beautifully dressed, and they sing carols. And
do you know any Polish carols?
I know. Yes, many. We have many here. I only heard maybe 10 or 12, but we have loads. Yes.
Will you
Lord.
sing a little bit of one?
Do you want me to sing a wee carol? Okay. Przybierzeli do Betlejem pasterze, grając skocznie dzieciąteczku na lirze. Chwała na wysokości, a pokój na ziemi. Chwała na wysokości, a pokój na ziemi. That's the cheerful one.
That's lovely. All the Polish people going, what?
Yes, I would
everybody
say
walking
they're
past?
quite happy now. Yes.
Right, do you want to say hello to anyone for Christmas? I know you do.
Yes, I want to say Merry Christmas to Granny McWilliams because I don't have any of my real grannies left, so I consider Granny McWilliams my granny through marriage. And Granny's sitting at home now and she's great fan of your show. And I just want to say, Granny, I love you and I hope you're going to have a very peaceful Christmas and we're all thinking about you. And don't you worry in Tamnir that you snowed in because we're all going to visit you and bring you whatever you need.
Say Tamnir again.
Tamnir. Sorry.
That's a little area.
I just say Tamnaherin.
Tamnaherin.
I don't know how to say all these things. And I find it hard to say
Say
T and H.
say ahachel.
Ahachel. I can't say T and H properly, so I just do the, because I know that's hard. But that's my foreign accent. I hope it's forgiven.
No, you're not foreign. You're married to your man from Derry, so, you know.
I'm half Irish,
yes,
okay?
You're half
Can I
Irish.
be half Irish?
You can be half Irish.
So Merry Christmas to all my family and friends and to you, Gerry, and to Sean.
you.
And thank you very much for having me. It was lovely.
Thank you for coming in and telling us about Christmas in your country.
Thank you.
Evelyn O'Donnell, thank you.
Bye.
Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Oh, baby, please don't go back to New Orleans. You know I love you so. You got me way down here. You got me way down here. You got me way down here. You didn't shed a tear, baby. Please don't go. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. My heart is beating so, baby, please don't go.
That's another little Christmas song. That's a song called Baby Please Don't Go. Paul Halfpenny from an album called Jiggin' the Blues. Frankie Gavin, Rick Epping and Tim Eady. All right. That's all we have time for today. Thank you for taking part in the programme today and whatever it is you did. Thank you for listening and be careful because the roads, as they say, are treacherous. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:30. Look after yourselves. Goodbye.